Hi everyone. Welcome back to NUKITASHI 2, Episode 2. So I'm about at the end of this short cut down version for Steam. So let's see how it ends from here. So at first, it was like a paradise for Junnosuke. So he has someone to make food for him, and that's Fumino. And also, Junnosuke has friends to be with. So Misaki, Hinami, and Nanase. So that's the girl that we saw in NUKITASHI 1. And plus his sister Asane and his supposed or adopted sister Fumino. But then everything just changes. So Junnosuke finds himself in a strange room, and for some reason he feels familiar with it. So he finds his uniform, which looks exquisite. So it's something that the FS wears, and even among FS, his uniform looks very special and exquisite. And it's kind of intimidating the other students at the school. So he looks back and finds that so Asane is absent and no one knows Fumino. So let's see how it goes with this girl, Hinami. So what strange event will he encounter? So first, let's hear Hinami say, Okay. Oh, Hinami? Huh? Well, I finally spot a familiar face and breathe a sigh of relief. And I rush over to my, comfortingly small and adorable senpai or senior girl. Oh, I'm so glad I found you, Hinami. So something weird is going on, and everyone is saying they don't know Fumino for some reason. And it feels like I've somehow wandered into a strange new world. And I feel like I really was about to go crazy if I had not met you here. And despite my best efforts, I'm at a loss for words. So Hinami is tilting her head to the side. And then...
君、誰かな?
So, who are you? She says these words looking straight at me. And her face looks, genuinely puzzled. Huh? Wait, hold on. So, Hinami, so enough with the mean jokes here. So, not now. And Hinami isn't someone who, can joke around while keeping this much of a straight face. And she's too pure-hearted. The senior girl I know would give it away on her face if she ever tried to tell so much as a fib. And I know that better than anyone else. Well, in that case, this... Wait, so what's this? And what exactly is...
でも、どっかで会ったことあったかな。一回くらい顔見たときあったかもだけど。あれ、どこ行くの?
So, you seem familiar. Wait, so there's no way. And it's impossible. So, this can't possibly be happening. So how can she not know me? So Misaki, and I rush into the next classroom. Over? Okay, so I know you're here, Misaki, so come out, please.
先はここですけど、ずっといますけど。
So, here I am. Oh, wait, so you were next door? Well, I don't know what is with everyone, but...
あなたが私に何の用ですか？例の特別指導とかですか？
Wait, so the special instruction? Huh? So, if anything, she seems to be looking at a freak who started talking to her out of nowhere.
まさか私の存在に気がつく人がいるとは思いませんでしたが、そういうことであればやってやるですよ。
So this really is not a joke, is it? So, not a rib, not a mean prank. So she really does not know me. Okay, so who else? And my chest hurts. I can feel my heart throbbing, and my temples ache. And I feel like I'm about to go insane. So what's going on? And I don't know. Okay, so Nanase, can you help me? But even that, surely Nanase. So Nanase out of all people. So Nanase Katagiri must know. Huh? And she has to know. Oh, so know me.
突然どうしたの？立花くん。
So what's gotten into you? And my legs turn to jelly. And I catch myself before I collapse and freeze in place.
いきなり声をかけてくるなんて。というか、ずいぶん久しぶりじゃない？
So it's been a while, right? And my body turns stiff.
久しぶりっていうのはちょっとおかしいか。ちゃんと話すの学園では初めてだもんね。
And then at last I lose the ability to speak. So wait, why would she say that? This is the first time we've spoken in a while. And with that, she turns around and leaves. And I can't even summon the words to call out and stop her. And I simply watch her go as I let out a shuddering breath. I watch as my very first ally leaves. And I watch as my oldest friend of all leave. And I watch the way the very first person I felt an emotional connection with since coming to this island leaves. So this is bad. And it doesn't make sense. Not even a lick of it. And this can't possibly be happening. My very own allies. And my comrades who suffered alongside me, how could they not remember a thing about me? So wait, so what's happening? And it just does not make sense to me anymore. And if this is a dream, I just want to wake up. Well, I truly don't know. And what is going on here? Oh, so this is where you are. Tachibana-kun? So who's this guy? And a hand plops down on my shoulder. And it's an, amiable gesture, as friendly as can be. And I slowly turn around. So this man. So standing there is a boy wearing glasses. He seems high strong.
どうしたんだい？放課後すぐに風紀委員室へ来なかったみたいじゃないか。まさか君ともあろう人がね。
Okay, so high strung. So, hey, so where were you? And I recognize, so him from somewhere.
遅れるときは報告をしてくれよ。君がいないとバディの僕が怒られてしまうんだから。
Okay. Wait, so my buddy? And my heart starts, let's see, racing down once more.
ああ。とは言っても、何かあればすぐに君が解決してくれるから、僕の仕事なんてほとんどないけどね。
So don't worry, you didn't miss much because there's nothing really going on, so it's okay for now. And the boy chuckles to himself. He looks to be around my age. And it seems like a, let's see. Also, a quip he makes often.
おかげで僕はデータ収集に尽力できていいけれど、でも君を探しに行くだけを仕事にさせないでくれよ。
Okay. But that would be ridiculous. And there's no way that could be true.
美濃月学園 SS 生徒会副会長。
So I should call you by your title. So Minazuki Academy FS Student Council Vice President. And absolutely absurd. Okay, so after a day of school, I return to the schoolyard at night in a daze. And after what happened earlier, I rush back home and pound on my door. I didn't have the key. Or rather, it took a different key than the one that I'm used to. So I need a different key for this dormitory to open the door. And nobody is home. I knock and knock, but no one ever comes to the door. And that includes my lovely little sister, of course. Oh, okay, so he tried going back to his usual home, but no one is there to answer. So the key that he has obviously is not the right key for his house, and that's why the door won't open. Wait, so there's nobody in this world. Nowhere for me to go, and no person I know. And so I had no choice but to return to where I started the day, so the FS dorms. So I just don't get this. So this probably is not the world I know. No, so I'm almost certain it is not. So it's not the world I've lived in until now. But in that case, where exactly am I? And this is not a dream. So it is reality. And I'm fully conscious, so I can't feel pain. I don't feel disconnected from the world. Nothing about it seems unreal. And in a sense, I'm on Sarah Island, so I know so well. But in that case, so what about the world where our real Sarah Island exists? Well, don't tell me. So this is all an illusion. And did I, conjure it all up as a way to escape reality? Well, no, so that can't be. And that everything we fought for and won took place inside a dream? Wait, so that would be impossible. But the truth is that I'm in a unfamiliar world. You know. So I really do feel like I'm about to go insane. So I can't even figure out what's going on. Or maybe I've actually gone crazy already. Maybe? Well, I don't understand. So, God, I really just don't understand. And not anymore, not a thing. Okay, so Ray is here. So, Tachibana? Wait, so Tadasugawa? I open the door to the dorm and find Tadasugawa senpai standing there. And she looks exactly as I remember her. And I can't do much as summon up my words to say to her so. And I'm sure that she is not the Rei Tadasugawa I know either. Okay, so is she angry? And this causes her to, glare at me with sharp, searching eyes. And her lips just barely begin to quiver. So wait, which one are you? That is her question to me. Okay, so some time has passed. Okay, so I need to understand exactly what kind of situation I now find myself in. So to do that, I've come to Minotsuki Academy. And it really is true that okay, I guess I've come back here again. And it's a nostalgic feeling. And maybe even a sentimental one. I have returned once more to the insane whirlwind of a world. So, Tadasugawa crams everything there is to know about FS members into my brain last night. And they clearly find it suspicious that I don't know the names of basic profiles. And I just could not remember them all, so she ended up yelling at me until morning. Okay, so you gotta get this down, pat, right now, immediately, before someone finds out. Or someone questions you. So I can't even recall the birthdays of every current member now thanks to our efforts. And I've made special efforts to remember the name of my parent buddy. Okay, so his name is Shu Nakamura, a member in the same year as me. And his nickname is Schubert, and everyone calls him that. Okay? And even Tadasugawa could not seem to recall how he got his name, though. Maybe he's well versed in music?
どうやら落ち着きを取り戻したみたいだね。いや、昨日はびっくりしたよ。いきなりどこかへ走り去っていくんだからさ。
And here is Schubert. Yeah, so sorry to have worried you.
何？君のデータがまた一つ増えたというだけのことさ。さあ、治安維持の紹介に出かけよう。
Okay, so now it's time for us to get to work. Indeed. Okay, so I'm not in what I hope is a, magnanimous way before following him down the hallway, walking around like I own the place.
昨日は教官の様子もおかしかったんだ。いきなり大声で泣き始めたと思ったらバンバン床を叩いて嫌だってなだめるのが大変だったさ。
So that's what happened afterwards. And the students of Minotsuki Academy scurry off to clear the path wherever I go. And they bow deeply at me, groveling until I pass them by. But why are they showing me so much, deference? I don't have the fainted clue. And is Asane really okay in a place like this? So here in this world? And I walk along the wobbling ground and take a peek into my little sister's classroom. And just a name in small letters on the whiteboard, just like yesterday. So once again, Asane is absent. So absent, Tachibana. And those two words are the only sign of her. Okay, so I sprint out into the schoolyard after class. And there's something I have to check in the few moments I have before FS activity begin. So, the streets. So the town looks like the same old Sarah Island that I've always known. Or maybe it would be more accurate to call it the Sarah Island that I once knew. Or knew. Phew, okay, so I'm sure this is his usual house. And I finally arrive at my destination and start catching my breath. Okay, so my home. So Junnosuke Tachibana's home. And it looks the same on the outside as the old and musty house that I've always known. So the lock really has been changed. So my keys don't work anymore. And it doesn't take the same key that I've always been used to. And the door is gone from having a near obsolete lock to a brand new one with hard to copy keys. Oh, so more protection. Wait, so are you there, Asane? Asa? I'm worried about Asa. And what's going to happen to her in a world that's going to go this mad if I'm not around? And the thought alone is terrifying. So, are you there, Asane? So please tell me you are okay. I'd be happy to learn that she's only taken an extended absence from school. And what really scares me is that the possibility that she's missing or gone. But please, so come out if you're there, so your big brother's worried about you. And if she's simply shut herself in, well, that's fine. And I just want to see my little sister's face. And it doesn't even have to be for long, so just let me see you. And all I need to see is her face and, okay, so he tries knocking on the door, so, Asane! And it gives me the strength to fight under any circumstances, so please. And I guess she's not here. So nobody seems to have been watching me from inside. And if she was there, I'm sure she would have come bursting out as soon as she saw me. And I guess that means she's either sleeping or she left to go somewhere else. Okay, well, that time already. So it's time for FS work. I checked my tablet to find that it's nearly time for my FS activities to begin. There you go. So as much as I don't want to go, I have no choice but to turn back and go. Okay, so it looks like someone is home and just not answering the door. Okay, so in his FS work, so the FS members still in the disciplinary committee room seem to have started in on their paperwork. And when they notice me looking their way, they nervously avert their eyes. Okay, so he's here. Ooh, okay, good. So I made it in time. And I remember all their names. And I'm worried after cramming it all in one night, but I have decent enough memory. Hello, Bana. Huh? And someone slams into me from behind. And whoever this is doesn't hesitate. Also lean their full weight on me.
なんすかバナさん、全体会議にも重役出勤するなんて大物気取りっすか？まったくやんごとなきゴミ分の方はいいっすね、くぬくぬ。
Come on! Wait, so who the hell is she? And also, why does she have a cockatoo with a weird face on her arm? And the more I look at it, the creepier it gets. Oh, good. So just look at that face. So it's fulfilling me with an indescribable and possibly, let's see, eldritch dread. Oh, so what's this? Some kind of new tactical FS weapon? So a new and unknown character has appeared out of nowhere? Or maybe two, well, one character and one creature. And yes, I'm sure of it, so they were not on the list that I worked so hard to memorize yesterday. Oh, so you missed the members, Tadasukawa? And this seems especially bad, too. And I'll be exposed if they try to, let's see, involve me in this conversation. So, the second I slip and say something, let's see, unnatural, everything I'm trying to do will be at risk. And I need to be gathering information right now, and I can't let that happen. So there is only one thing to do. So if I want a way of tricking them into telling me the information I need, Susuko.
Hi.
Yes. So your affiliation and your rank?
さあ、美濃月学園 A 等部1年3組 SS5 番隊電子戦闘担当であります。
Okay. I see. So, and why is it okay if they call you Susuko?
さあす、語尾がスッススッス言っててうるさいとレイ先輩にブートキャンプ時につけていただいたであります。
So, it's pretty much because she likes to say Sue a lot, and I think it's like, well, if you like to have Sue in all of your words, then it makes sense for you to be called Susuko. Anyways, to go over what I just heard. So this girl is my junior in FS. Oh, okay.
いや、バナさんが確認したのでは？めちゃ目線を泳いでるっすけど。
So why are you staring into space? Well, if they weren't suspicious of me before, then I guess they are now. I see, so she's off the list because she's been away. And you know, so maybe Tadasugawa did mention something about this. But I know who she is now, either way. So, Susuko. Okay, so I got it down. Perfect. And now they'll never suspect me again.
こらそこ、一体何を騒いでいるのですか？すでに SS 業務始業の時間は過ぎているんですよ。
Come on, so get to work. Everything has started, and you are just wasting time at this moment. Wait, so another character I don't know? And how many strangers are going to show up here? And what's this? So in anime, I started watching from the second season. Oh, fine. So I admit that I really only know about the big three and Hanamaru when it comes to the FS before all this. But that's why I did all that work to learn about everyone. Wait, so Hanamaru? And the girl who's haughtily shoved her way in between us is Hanamaru, so the class rep. Or rather, a sassy little girl about 2 degrees smaller than the class rep. And now that I think about it, maybe she did say something about having a little sister in the B level classes.
わあ、オリンジャスじゃないっすか。おすすしぶりっす。愛しのすすっちがいなくって寂しかったっすか？
So, oh, they're written. Let's see how Susuko.
わあ、オリンジャスじゃないっすか。おすすしぶりっす。愛しのすすっちがいなくって寂しかったっすか？
So, Susuko calls this girl Rinja.
ちょっとススコさん、この私に向かって何という口の聞き方をしてくれるんです？これ。
So this boastful girl shows off the armband attached to her uniform full of herself. Let's see what she said earlier. Okay, let's see.
ちょっとススコさん、この私に向かって何という口の聞き方をしてくれるんです？これが目に入らないのですか？
Okay. So in big letters, it reads SHO Special Auditor Aid.
はあ、なんすかそれ？私がいない間にそんなのできたんすか？
僕が説明しよう。リン君は SHO から指名された SS の特別監査役の補佐役に任命されたのさ。
So she is the FS Special Auditor.
いや、全くわかんねえっすよ。腕章から情報が1ビットも増えてないんすけど。
なんだって？
Wait.
これで説明しきれないなんて。これ以上のデータ僕には。
So what do you mean? And it's not in my data. And still though, it's subtle, but this is a major piece of information. And if they had to establish an auditor, that just shows how much difficulty the SHO is having controlling the FS. And looking at this world through the lens helps me see the vague outlines of its power structures.
とにかく何か花まらない行動をしたらすぐに SHO に報告しますからね。覚悟して。
So make one mistake, I'm going to report you to the big people, so SHO.
おいリン、お前どこへ行っていたんだ？とっくに持ち場の交代時間は過ぎているんだぞ。
So where have you been?
いや、ねえ先輩。私は SHO 監査役補佐ですよ。いくら風紀委員長といえど神の使いたる私には。
So you are under me.
SHO 監査役補佐である前に貴様は SS2 番隊の平隊員だろうが、とっとと立番に行ってこい。
So don't elevate yourself. So Tadasugawa grabs the self-important little Hanamaru by the scruff and leads her off. Well, I suppose the balance of power has not changed that much. Okay, so back in his supposed room, so I get out of the bath and pat my hair down with a towel. and as my body temperature quickly drops, I can feel my head beginning to cool off too. So this is reality and not a dream. I hold my hand up to the lights and chuckle to myself. So it may move according to my will, but it's hard to believe that this is my body. So this is the real me. Wait, so my body? So this body, which me does it belong to exactly? So this me or the other me from the other world? And I assume it was the case when I noticed I'm missing my glasses, but it seems as though our bodies didn't come with us to this world. Only our minds were sent here. Well, I guess that means I won't end up running into World B's Junnosuke Tachibana. Well, I feel a sense of relief, tinged with disappointment. So it's a complicated emotion. And feeling thirsty, I head to the common area, so the FS Big Three are gathered here again.
立花、お前も喉乾いたのか？待ってろ、お前の分も入れてやるから。
So the Big Three are decompressing over lukewarm tea, and they look more their age than usual in their pajamas.
風呂も入ったことだし、早いところ寝るか。明日も仕事が残ってるしな。
Okay.
どうか様、ちゃんと髪は拭かないといけませんよ。そのまま寝たら風邪ひきますからね。
So, Touka-sama?
そうね。髪は乾かした方が得よね。ドライヤーってどうやって使うんだったかしら。
So they seem to be handling their work well, but maybe even they have their hands full here. And I can't blame them. And just as everything seemed to be over the world, so the world went back to the way it was. And what I'm feeling must be nothing compared to the emotional toll this is taking on them. Hey, so I'm sorry for getting you girls wrapped up in this. So this is all because of me. So I'm truly sorry. And I bow my head deeply, and yet the Big Three only react with confusion on their faces.
何言ってるの、ダーリン。
そうだぞ、立花。これはお前のせいじゃないだろう。
So don't worry, it's not your fault.
偶発的に起きてしまったことですから、誰かに責任があるような事柄ではありませんよ。
So this happened out of the blue. And I feel it from the bottom of their hearts. And I can't tell they don't blame me for any of this. And they are truly kind girls. And just as my former comrades were, and like those girls in whom I placed my trust, to whom I opened up my heart. Okay, I know, so we might feel a certain way about each other after everything that's happened, but I'm getting a little disheartened, wasn't I? And I can't let it end like this. I can't let it end here in this world. So I'll just do what I did before. Okay, so from here on out, we are all working towards the same goal. I'm going to put my trust in three girls too. So these girls. Okay, so I'm joining the Big Three as another member of the FS. So I hope we can all get along. Okay. And it's time for me to become one of the FS's Big Four. So the 3 girls plus Junnosuke. Okay, so I think this is where the short cut-down version comes to an end. So we hear this music, and okay, so the credits are showing. So what happens for NUKITASHI 2 is that it kind of stems from what happened in NUKITASHI 1. So following NUKITASHI 1, Junnosuke and his team, so NLNS, or No Love No Sex, were able to defeat this dreaded Lewd Sex Act. So if you remember from NUKITASHI 1, that was the law that forced everyone to be horny, and it legalized rape, and it required everyone to be engaged in lewd sex. So if you're not in an orgy, then you get punished. And if you remember, law enforcement was from SHO, Syrian Health Organization. And once again, she really changed the name, so from SS to FS. So likewise, I'm sure it's because of the fact that SS also meant the German soldiers for World War II and Holocaust. So SS, once again, means student SHO. So students working on behalf of SHO for the scholarship, which helps them fund many things. So for NUKITASHI 2, the full version, it's a fan disc, which means that if you click New Game, you actually get a menu showing different routes that you can play. So, like a fan disc, it has after stories for all the routes that are from NUKITASHI 1. So, from Nanase, Hinami, Misaki, and Fumino. And there is one extra route, so Asane. And putting that aside, we get one big route, like the another story route, and that's the Senzuri Pakumen. So this cut-down version was based off of the Senzuri Pakumen route. So what was skipped in the beginning was the nightmare that Junnosuke had. And for this version, so Junnosuke was dreaming that he was fighting his sister Asane. And his sister Asane, for some reason, is furious that she will launch a barrage of attacks on Junnosuke. So, for reference, in NUKITASHI 1, the intro or the dream was that Junnosuke was trying to escape from the SS Student Council President Touka, but Touka is too powerful and all of Junnosuke's attacks don't work, and Touka ends up restraining him with her powers and likewise rapes him in the dark, in the deep dark forest. So what happens next after the bad dream was that, so following what happened after NUKITASHI 1 and before the start of this title, NUKITASHI 2, there was some conflicts after the defeat of the Lewd Sex Act, and in compromise, in the end, they came up with this new law called the New Lewd Sex Act. And what that did was it split Sailor Island into 3 districts. So the lewd sex is now confined to Zone A, and that covers the beach and some of the attractions like the amusement park. And then you have Zone B, which I call the abstinence zone, and that's the shopping district in the residential areas. And for the LGBTQ plus people, there's a third zone just for them. But likewise, nothing's perfect, and even with a new law that Junnosuke is satisfied with, there are new problems. And that's why SHO and SS are still business. So around this time, the SS girls, so the big three, which we know is Touka, Rei, and Ikuko, they're quite impressed with Junnosuke. So being able to single-handedly defeat them, even though SS are trained in combat, they have weapons, and they outnumber NLNS. So Touka would like Junnosuke to join SS because, no, your expertise and your broadness and your skill will be perfect for us to deal with new problems. And plus, I know that you're suffering from financial difficulties. The fact that your parents passed away early and you're struggling to make ends meet. So if you join SS, then you'll have the scholarship which will help you. But for Junnosuke, it's like, well, I was your enemy, I attacked you, so it's not good for me to join my enemies now that the new law is in effect. And for NLNS, so we have Fumino, we have Asane, Nanase, Misaki, and Hinami. So now that they've accomplished their main goal, they're not just friends. So just hanging out and having a good time together. So they also mentioned about their old base having been demolished. So that was from NUKITASHI 1. And if you remember that I mentioned, so Junnosuke and Nanase first find the base when they were trying to escape from SS looking for them. So Junnosuke saves Nanase from being raped, and then the rapists or students of the school report Junnosuke to SS and SHO, and now SS and SHO are looking for them in violation of the Lewis Sex Act. Well, the old version. And that's when they find the space, and you have an old guy who mentions that, well, we don't all like this new law, so if you want us to win, then you have to fight back and attack and defeat SS and SHO. So, as a result, that base got demolished, or it's no longer accessible. And I can't explain why, because that's a spoiler for the true end for NUKITASHI 1. So what happens in between his happiness in paradise to him being in some unfamiliar world was that on that one day, he was playing with toys and I'm not sure what he really was trying to do. So he was making all these pleasure toys, and I think he was talking with someone random online and got some ideas. So at the same time, Touka pops into Junnosuke's room. So, you had a very difficult question, and it's best if we discuss this in private. And then Rei jumps in with, "Hey Touka-sama, you can't leave. I'm trying to dress you up. Put your makeup on, so stay still." And then Ikuko jumps in, number 3, so I don't want to be left behind. And then they witness what Junnosuke was doing. It's like, hey, so why are you doing this if you have us 3 girls that you can play with? And for Asane, so she went to mainland Tokyo because a new game got released and it's only available there. And what happens next is that, so the toy ends up having a mind of its own. It becomes out of control, and then eventually it just gives them all a flash, and pretty soon Junnosuke wakes up in an unfamiliar environment. So in the other world, it turns out he's now the VP of the student council and also a big member of SS. And at first, no one recognized him, but it was Rei who first spotted him, and they dragged Junnosuke to their private bath where they explain what just happened. So it turns out the big 3, so Rei, Touka, and Ikuko, they also got sent to the alternate world along with Junnosuke. So it's like, well, until we find answers to this problem, we'll have to work undercovers and be part of SS. So Rei tells Junnosuke that, okay, so you have to accept that you're now SS, so sorry to you not being part of NONS. So as part of being SS and a big person, so VP of Student Council, Junnosuke has to know everyone's profile and names. And that's where Rei gets to cram everything into Junnosuke's mind. So later, as they work, they find out that there's an even more sinister plan in development. So it turns out Sarah Island is a test bed for this ridiculous Lewis Sex Act. So what happened in World B, the alternate world, was that the Lewis Sex Act went back to the old version. So the one where it required everyone to be raping each other, big orgies across the whole island, which disgusted Junnosuke. So what's happening in secret is that Sarah Island is a test bed for this, and eventually the next step is to have all of Japan adopt this law, and the final goal is to create this organization called USD. So not United States dollar, but United States of Doskebe, which means you have all these countries across the world adopting this Lewis Sex Act. So imagine having a NUKITASHI event happening on the streets as you walk and in your neighborhood. So also why everyone feared Junnosuke in the alternate world was that, so now that he's VP of the Student Council and also part of SS, he's known as the Sex Emperor for some reason. And that intimidates everyone, even the teachers. So later they find out that there's some things that are missing in the alternate world. So first, Hamadori is gone. So it's like, how did Hamadori come to life? Oh, so someone designed it. So the old VP of the Student Council. And near the end of the common route for Senzuru Pakamen, or the demo version, they fight NONS. So Junnosuke sees the old members again, and he spots one new enemy, so a Robo Hamadori. And that's the key to where the big three plus Junnosuke will use to help solve the mystery of how they got to World B and how they'll get back to World A. And on a last note, so in the beginning, Rei mentioned that, oh, so we're trying to make a new PV for the island. So the old one no longer makes sense. So that was the video with Simakoki, so the pink hair girl, and she's part of SHO, and Hamadori, so the mascot. And, well, this is the Steam version, so Shirvune cut that out. But what happened was that the video advertised all the places that you can conduct rape and all the Lewis sex stuff. So it's like, well, this island is more than that with the new law in place, so we need something that makes sense. And I think with Junnosuke, so his proven track record, being a hero and being maybe the founder of this new law, it makes sense for him to star in the next PV. So anyways, that's going to be it for NUKITASHI 2, but I will make one more episode covering the Susuko and Hinami pens. So for the Japanese version, there were 2 more bonus packages that you could have gotten to expand on NUKITASHI 2, but unfortunately Shirvune was not able to get rights to those and therefore is not available on the Steam release. And you can't install the packages onto the Steam version because it's using different game engines. So the Japanese version is using the older Shinryu engine, while the newer Shirvina versions are using the Artemis engine. But anyways, with that in mind, I'll see you in a future playthrough on a future game.